It is a special instruction that we use to write the data into output dataset.
Output data set.
Very good. And how many types of formats we have?
5
Five
types.
types.
So what are the 5 types we have?
Character, numerical,
Character,
Character,
numerical,
Time, date, time format, foreign binary, user defined format.
What is the character format? It writes the character data into output variable. What are the character formats that we have?
Variable
dollar, dump,
Variable dollar, variable dollar with the dot, variable dollar char with the dot.
So I told you for character variables, both informats and formats are same. You no need to write a separate format. The same information can also work as a format. Then what is a numerical format?
Writes
Numerical
numeric data
format
into output.
writes the
Numerical data into the numerical data.
into output data set. What are the numerical formats that we have?
comma w dot d
Comma with
comma w dot
dollar
d
with the dot.
w dot
Zero
d
with the dot.
0 with dot
And W dot.
Percent with the dot.
Roman dot.
Roman dot.
Roman dot.
Zero. It is not zero with dot, ZW dot. And then we started discussing about date formats. And I told you in SAS, the date values has been stored as a numerical data, elapsed number of days. So if the data is in elapsed number of days, nobody can understand what date it is. So again, we need to display the date values as in a human readable format. So to display a date in human readable format, say for example, if it is today's date, if I want to have a 28th DEC 2022, do you know what is the format we should write? Date 9 dot. Date 9 dot.
Yes, sir.
So if I want to have a 28th December 22, what is the format I should write?
Date 7
Date 7 dot. Date 7 dot. Okay. If you want to display 28 forward slash 12 forward slash 2022, what is the format I should write? But if I want to say specifically, I want to have 28 hyphen 12 hyphen 2022, what is the format I should write? Ten dot. Very good. But if I want to have a 2022 colon symbol, 12 colon symbol 28, what is the format I should write?
C dot. C10 dot.
Very good. This is my data. I'm creating a data set now. Data DS1. I'm writing input ID, name dollar symbol, age, sex dollar symbol, salary, date of birth, date of joining. You know, for the date of birth, we should use an informat. I'm writing informat as in a date 9 dot. We need to use DDMMY by 10 dot, okay, as an F informat for date of joining. And finally, semicolon, I'm writing the run. So I'm selecting the program, executing it. Now, if I go to that libraries, work library, DS1 dataset. Now, unfortunately, I'm not getting the data of joining. There might be some alignment issues. I'm going to specify colon symbol now, execute the program again one more time. I'm getting the data. Now, in future, if you are coming into that clinical domain, according to FDA guidelines, what is the format that we should use when we have a date value? So when we have a date value, according to FDA guidelines, we have to use ISO 8601 format. What is the format? ISO 8601. So when I'm saying that one in general, I would say ISO 8601 format. This is the format we should use. But how to write this format in a data set, for a format? Now, if you want to apply the format, now I am writing a format statement for which variable? For the date of birth, and I am writing IS 8601 DA dot. So when it is a date, we should write DA dot. And for the date of joining also, I want to have the same format, DOJ ISO, okay, 8601 DA dot. This is the format that we should apply. This is according to, this is what we should write. Okay, and how this ISO format looks like. Say, for example, if today's date is at 20th December, this is how it is going to get appear. 2022 hyphen symbol, 12 hyphen symbol, we are going to have a 28. This is how ISO 8601 format looks like. So that means which is nothing but a YY, MM, DD, 10 dot. But what we are going to have between the year and month and day, we are going to have an hyphen symbol. Now see, if I select the program, execute the program, we are going to have, what is the problem that we have? Sorry, when I'm telling it, I'm going to write ISO 8601, but when you're writing, you should write only IS 8601. You should not write O, you should write only IS 8601. Okay, now see, I'm selecting the program, executing it. We have a DS1. Can you see how the date of birth and date of joining is appearing? It is going to be appear as a YYMMDD. So when you are telling in a general way, we are going to say ISO, okay, ISO 8601 format. But when you're applying, you should apply IS 8601 DA. DA stands for date. But since I want to have the same format, you no need to write two separate variables. You can write first all the variables, then you can apply one format. Sorry, then we can apply, one format. This is how we can apply. And by the way, you can also write, instead of IS, you can also write E8601. Both are going to give the same result. Understand? But in the banking and other domains, depends on the client requirement. You can use a date 9 dot or a DDMMYY or YYMMDD, whatever the format you want, you can use. But in the clinical domain, according to FDA guidelines, this is the format you should apply. Clear, everybody? I told you, all the date informats will also work as a formats except one informat. Remember what was that informat?
Any date.
Very good.
Any
DT
dot.
dot. This will work only as a informat. It will not work as a format. Okay? Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
For date of joining also DA sir. The DDMM by way.
For date of joining also, format you're talking about?
DA dot. DA dot.
Yeah, this DA dot will apply for both date of birth and date of joining in the same way.
Okay. Okay.
Say, for example, in the clinical domain, we are going to have adverse event start date, adverse event end date, lab LBDTC or concomitant medication start date, end date. We are going to have all those dates. All the dates you have to submit in this format. That is the rule. Okay. Now, this is my data. I want to create a data set. I'm writing data set name DS2. I'm writing in file. You don't require in file, directly I'm writing input statement. I want to have ID, name character variable $symbol, age, sex character variable $symbol. Then I'm writing the salary, and I want to have a start time STM. Can you tell me what is the informat I should write for the time variable STM? Somebody is saying HH.
STM.
SS 8 dot. You can write in that way also. We have a DS2. Now, can you see how the time values will be stored in SAS?
The number of seconds.
The time values
The number of seconds.
So the number of
From?
seconds.
From?
When
From
Midnight, midnight 12 that day. That day
Which,
midnight.
that day midnight 12 o'clock to that day midnight 12 o'clock to given time. Okay. And by the way, when we have like this one, you can use HHMMSS8 dot, or otherwise, what is the another informative you can write?
Time 8 dot.
Time 8.
So when we write a time 8 dot or HHMMSS8 dot, now the time values are saving in the SAS as elapsed number of seconds from that day midnight 12 o'clock to given time value. Okay. But again, if you have a time in this format, nobody can understand. I want to display again time as a time. If you want to display again as a time value, now what is it we should write now? We should write a format. For which variable I want to apply format? STM. Now, again, if you want to see time along with the seconds, now we can apply time 8 dot again. If I apply the time 8 dot, that how it is going to get displayed? It is going to display as an hours, minutes, and then seconds. And I told you, in SAS, the time will be in 24-hour format. So this is how it is going to get displayed. Understand this one? But if you do not want to have seconds, if you want to display only hours and minutes, you know what I should do? You should write a format, STM, you should write time 5 dot.
5 dot.
Time 5 dot. Because I want to have only this part. Now see, select the program, execute it. It is going to display only hours and minutes. But if you want to display, if you have hours, display hours. If you do not have hours, don't display the hours. Sorry, if you have seconds, display the seconds. If you do not have the seconds, don't display the seconds. Now simply, I will write a time dot. Understand this one? But tell me, if I have a time value 15, what do you mean by 15?
3.
3 o'clock.
Afternoon 3.
3 o'clock, sir.
Afternoon 3.
But again, even it is afternoon 3, it is going to display as a 15. Because I told you, in SAS, the time value will be stored in 24-hour format. But I want to know whether it's in a early morning 3 o'clock or evening 3 o'clock. Now we have a format like this one. Now we can apply a format. You know, I want to write a format. I'm writing a format statement for STM. I'm writing time AM PM dot. If I use the time AM PM dot, now 15 o'clock will appear as an a 3 PM. Can you see this one? But in the backend, how we are going to have time value? In the backend, we will have only elapsed number of seconds only. Whatever the format we are seeing, and this is only temporary display. Okay. In the backend, the time values will be saved only as elapsed number of seconds. So that means whatever the format we are applying, this is only temporary display. Understand this one? But if you are working in a clinical domain, how to represent the time values? According to CDISC guidelines, you should always display your time values in ISO format. What is the format we should write for the time? We should use IS 8601 TM dot. So if you have a time, you should TM dot. Now it is going to display hours, minutes, and in the seconds format. And this is a ISO format. So if you have a date, what date value, can you see what was the format we have written? DA dot. Now when we have a TM, what is the format you need to end with? TM dot. Clear, everybody?
Sir, 860 it represents.
The data wants to be.
That is an ISO. It is an ISO standard, international standards. So FDA adapted that ISO format according to ISO guidelines. 8601 is for the time, date and time values. Clear?
If you want a permanent data.
No, you cannot have a permanent numbers in the back end. It is going to be as elapsed number of seconds. This is only temporary display. If you want to have permanent, you should convert that into character data. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Whatever the format we are applying, that is only temporary display. If you have a permanent, we cannot do calculation in the back end. If you want to do calculation, if you want to perform calculations in the back end, the data should be in numerical format. Okay, numerical data. Then only we can perform any operation, arithmetic operation. But we are fine with temporary display. Now, this is my data. I want to create a data set. The specialty of this data is we have date and time values together. Date and time. I want to create a data set. I'm writing data set name DS3. I'm writing input. I want to have ID, name, dollar symbol, age, sex, dollar symbol, salary, and I'm writing a variable called SDT, start date and time. Can somebody tell me what are the information I should write?
Date, time, 18 dot.
Yes.
Very good. Date, time, 18 dot.
Date, time, 18 dot.
Then I'm writing the data lines. And finally, if you want, you can keep a semicolon, run semicolon. Okay, I'm selecting the program, executing the program. We have a DS3 data set. Can you see? We have the data. But how the daytime values will be stored in SAS? Anybody?
Elapsed number of days.
Elapsed
Number of
Number of seconds.
1960.
1960?
Seconds from 1960 to given date.
Elapsed number of seconds only, sir.
No, I want to have correct answer. Accurate answer.
Elapsed number of seconds
Elapsed
from
number of seconds.
60 from
From
12 o'clock.
That day midnight 12 o'clock.
From 1960 Jan 1st midnight 12
January
o'clock
1st,
to
12 o'clock. Given value.
given daytime value.
Given.
It should be very
Time
clear.
value.
So the daytime values will be stored as an elapsed number of seconds from 1960 Jan 1st midnight to 12 o'clock to given daytime value. That's why we have a huge number. But when we have a date and time like this one, nobody can understand. Now, how we can display this one? Yes, we need to apply a format. What is the format that we can apply when we have a date and time? So if you want to apply the format, you should write a separate statement called format. For which variable I want to apply? SDT. Now again, you should write date to time. If I write 18 dot, what will happen? It will display in the same way. But if I write 18 dot, what is going to happen? It is going to display year only in 2 digit. So that's why see, if I select the program, execute the program, now we have a DS3 data set. Now can you see how we have the date and time value? We have date and time, but can you see how we have the year value?
2 digits.
Not
2 digits.
2 digits.
We have only 2-digit year. But if you want to have 4-digit year, what you should do? You should write like this one. Format, STT, date, time, 20 dot. If I specify date, time, 20 dot, now it will display the 4-digit year. Understand this one? But now, if I write like this one, I am writing format, SDT, date, time, 15 dot. What it will do? It will display only this part. That means it will display time only hours and minutes. It will not display the seconds. Understand? Now, according to FDA guidelines, what is the format you should use when we have a date and time together? When we have a date and time together, you should write a format for SGT variable. You should write ISO, which means IS 8601 DT dot. Only date ఒకటే ఉన్నప్పుడు ఏం చేసాం? What we have done when we have only date? We have written DA dot. When we have only time, what was the format we have written? TM dot.
TM.
When we have a date and time together, you should write DT dot. If it is a today's date, how it is going to get displayed in ISO format? 2022 December 28 capital T, and then right now the time is 19 o'clock 33 minutes, say for example 00 seconds. That means between the date and the time we are going to have a capital T. So that is ISO format. Now see, if I select the program, execute the program, this is how it is going to get displayed now. That will be get displayed as an 1983 February 02 10 capital T 10 o'clock 30 minutes 15 seconds. Sorry, 15 seconds. So this is how it is going to get displayed. See, that is ISO format. Can you see this one?
Yes, sir.
So just
This is how. Yeah.
so
Yes.
just the second comment 20, date time 20,
Date and 20.
date time 20, second comment.
Okay. If I date and 20, this is how it is, in the same way how this is going to get displayed. If you want, I can uncomment that one. I will use that one. This way. This way it is going to get displayed. 4-digit year. Understand?
Yes.
So this is the date time format that we have. Clear, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, once show the first one, sir. DOB, date of joining data.
Date of joining. This one.
Yes, sir.
Which format do you want to see? You want to see in this format only?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, which data set that is? DS1?
DS1.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, why we are getting capital T, sir, by using ISO formatting date and time?
That is what? That is how they display it. It is in a standard ISO standard. According to ISO standard, between the date and time, they should have a capital T.
Okay.
Now, this is my data. Now, I want to create a data set. I will tell you a story. According to the specification, they want to have a data set name DS1. They want to have a label for this one, and they want to have a label as an employee data. Okay, and then these are the variables they want to have. Okay, they want to have ID, then they want to have a name, age, sex, salary, date of birth, and they want to have a date of joining. Okay, and then ID they want to have it as a numerical variable, name they want to have a character variable, and age they want to have a numerical variable. Again, sex as they want to have a character variable, salary they want to have a numerical, date of birth they want to have a numerical, and the date of joining also they want to have a numerical variable. And ID they want to have a length, 8, name they want to have a length 6, and then age they want to have a length 8, and again sex they want to have a length 1, and salary they want to have a length 8, date of birth, date of joining I want to have a length 8. And then they want to have a label, they want to have employee ID. They want to have employee name. And then they want to have an employee age. And then they want to have an gender. And then they want to have employee income. And then they want to have birth date. Then they want to have joining date. And then they said they want to display ID like this one. They want to display age in Roman letters. They want to display as a male and female. They want to display dollar, comma. They want to have a 2 decimals. Then they want to have word date format. They want to have week date format. This is the specification they have given it to you. Now tell me the code, how we are going to write the code based on this specification sheet. Can you tell me how we should write the code for this one? Tell me how we're going to write the code now. Data set name they want to have this one. Input
ID,
name
dollar symbol,
salary,
dollar symbol,
salary,
date of joining,
semicolon, run semicolon.
semicolon.
First, what do you want me to write?
Label.
You want to make label?
Symbol.
Label, please.
Open the parenthesis.
Length or label? What you want me to write?
Label, sir, label.
Label.
Okay. I'm writing label. ID is equal to employee ID.
ID.
Name is equal to employee name.
Name
Age is equal
is
to
equal to employee age.
employee age. Okay. Sex is equal to gender. Salary is equal to employee income. DOB is equal to birth date. DOJ is equal to
Joining date.
joining date.
Semicolon.
And then semicolon. Okay. Then what do you want me to do?
Length.
Length.
Okay. Length.
ID.
ID one dot.
ID.
One dot.
Why one dot? How much you ask for ID?
Eight.
Wait, sir.
Name, sir. Name.
Okay. Name.
Name dollar symbol.
Dollar six dot.
Six dot.
Six dot.
Age. No need of
How much you want to have it?
Second.
age. Six.
Dollar
Dollar
one.
symbol. One what?
Dollar. One dot.
Somebody is saying age 2 dot. Why we require age 2 dot? Did I ask for any, 2 in the specification?
No.
No, we have 8. Then why we need to write the length? We don't need to write. Then what do you want me to do?
Semicolon.
In data statement, sir, we can
semicolon.
write label, sir.
Semicolon.
Format.
Okay. Then
Data statement, sir. In data statement.
Data
data
statement
statement
label.
is the label.
Yeah,
Okay.
Data
I'm
statement
writing
should
according,
mention
as you said,
Data.
I'm writing, say, for example, within the parentheses, what you should write? Label.
Label
Is
name
equal
equals to employee
Equals to
Employee data.
Data. Okay.
data.
Then
Return statement.
what else we should write? What I should write?
Retain statement.
Okay, I'm writing a return statement.
Return
ID,
statement,
name,
name,
age, sex, salary, EOB, EOJ.
comment.
Okay. What should I do?
Sorry,
So written statement is not
what
applicable.
we should mention as dollar symbol.
I'll tell you one thing. Before the input, I'm writing the length statement, right? In the length, since I specified the dollar symbol, you no need to write a dollar symbol now in the input because already name has been defined as which variable?
Character.
Character.
You no need to write dollar symbol. Other, if you want, you can also write, not a problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
but not mandatory.
Okay, sir.
What else we should do?
Should
Format.
Information salary, sir. Comma.
We should write for which values I should write informate?
Data.
Data variable.
ID.
We should write informate first. Why we should write informate for ID? Why we should write for ID?
Because width has been mentioned.
Z00.
Hello.
We have
That is fine.
format for ID, sir. Format.
First of all, no. If you want an informate, first you read the data. If you want it a format, first of all, we need to read the data into inside. No.
Yes, sir.
First you should write informate. For which variables you should write informate?
Date of birth and date of birth.
Salary.
Date of birth and date of birth?
Salary,
Date of birth, date of joining.
We should write informate for three variables: salary.
Salary.
Joining.
You know why? Because salary, date of birth, date of joining is non-standard format. We should use informate. Now I am writing a informate. So salary, what is the informate I should write?
Dollar.
Comma 6 dot. ఎవరో డాలర్ అంటున్నారు? Since we have a comma, you should comma 6 dot. And the date of birth, what is the informate I should write?
Date 9 dot.
Week 9 dot.
Date 9
9 dot.
Date
9 dot.
For date of joining, what is the informate I should write?
DD MM YY 10 dot.
DDMMYY 10 dot. Okay, so informate is over. Now they said they want to have formats. For which values you should apply first of all formats? Tell me.
ID, age,
ID,
ID.
age, sex, salary, date of birth is the point.
Very good. So tell me what is the format I should apply for ID variable?
ZW,
Z3 dot.
Z3 dot.
Very good.
Z3 dot.
Very good. Z3 dot. Now what is the format I should apply for age variable?
Roman dot.
Roman dot.
Roman.
Very good. Roman dot. What is the format I should apply for salary?
Dollar.
Dollar.
Very good. So for age variable, I'm writing $10 dot.
10 dot.
2. For date of birth, what is the
Sir,
format? I
not
should-
age, sir. It is a salary, sir.
Salary.
Dollar itself.
For date of the date of birth, what is the format I should apply?
Work date 20, sir.
Work date.
What date? What
What
date?
date?
Work date 20.
What is
date?
9?
20 dot.
9. 20 dot.
Yes, sir.
And date of joining, what is the format you should apply?
Weekday 30 dot.
Weekday 30 dot.
Now I'm selecting the program, executing the program. We have a DS1 data set. I'll go to the view. I'm going to click on the column labels. Now can you see we have ID variable, name, age, sex, salary, date of birth, date of joining. And if I open the name variable, the length is 6. If I open the sex variable, the length is 1. So length has been applied. And if you see here, for all the 6 variables, we applied the label. And if you see here, we applied the Z3 dot. Open this one here, we have a Z3 dot. We applied a Roman dot for age variable, and we applied $10 dot to. So if you open this one now, we can find a $10 dot to here. We applied word date 20 dot format, and we applied week date 30 dot format. Everything looks fantastic. This is according to you have written according to the specification sheet they have given. Everything looks fine. Only one small issue with this one is they want to have male and female. But in our data, how we have male and female?
Gender.
No, we have M and F. But they want to have like they want to have it this
Male and
way.
female.
Now, if you want to have a dollar symbol,
User
we use it a dollar. No, we have used a dollar 10.2 or something. If you want to have a Roman letter, we use a Roman dot. When we want to have a 3 zeros, sorry, total with 3, and I want to have padding with zeros, I use a ZW dot. If you want to display date in such a way, I use it, word date 20 dot, week date 30 dot, whatever the formats I want to, I use it according to the specification sheet. But now they're asking if you have an M, display it as a male. If you have an F, display it as a female. But unfortunately, we do not have such a format available in SAS system.
user
There is no such
user
format available.
defined.
When you do not have a such format, what we should do? We should create our own format.
For proc
We should create our format.
create
sir.
We should
User
create
defined.
our own format. If you create our own format, then that is called as a
User
what do you call it?
user
User defined format.
So as a SAS programmer, okay, if we create our own formats, then it is called as an A, then it is called as a user-defined formats. How to create user-defined formats? By using a procedure called proc format. Remember, on the other day, we created user-defined informats. To create user-defined informant, remember what was the statement we used?
Invalid.
Invalid.
In value. Very good. We use a statement called in value. But if you want to create a user-defined format, we should use a statement called value. So in format for informat, in value for format, value. Now we should have value. And after that space, I'm going to create a user-defined format, and I'm going to use that one for which variable of this data set? Sex variable.
gender
Sex variable. No,
Gender, sir.
gender is not a variable. Sex variable. Gender is a label. Okay, sex. But sex is a character variable or numerical variable.
Character.
character type.
So now you should write a dollar symbol. Now, since I'm creating my own format, I should write my own name. Now it is related to gender. Now I'm writing my format name as a gender. Okay. And after that, now I'm going to give at least one space. How we have the data is equal to how we want to display. Data lo ela unte meer ela display cheddam anukuntunnaru. What is the original value of the sex values that we have?
M
M and F. That too, it is a capital data.
Capital M.
We have a small m. Can you see how we have the data?
and small.
Small m.
Small m. Now, since data is case sensitive, you should write in the same way. Small m is equal to how we want to display. Say, for example, I want to display as an male. So world value is equal to, then how we want to display? Space. What is the second original value that we have?
Small m.
F. F is equal to how we want to display that one? I want to display as a female.
Email.
Close the quotations, semicolon, end of the statement, run semicolon. Now select this program, execute the program. We are going to have a user-defined format called gender. Now I want to use that one. If you want to use that one, where we should use that one? In the format statement. For which variable? You can write this variable anywhere in the program. So now I'm writing a sex variable. What is the format that we created? Can you tell me? Dollar
Gender.
Mm.
Dollar gender.
gender dot. You should write dot. Now see, yes, dollar gender data. Now I'm selecting the program again one more time. Before that, I'm closing the data set I'm selecting the program, executing the program. Now I have a DS1 data set. Now, can you see how the sex values are displaying now? As a male and female.
Male and female.
Okay, I will show one thing. Now, if I click on the gender variable, can you see what is the length of the variable?
1.
One. That means in the back end, we are going to have M and F only. But for output, it is displaying as an M as a male, F as a female. This is only temporary display. And again, birth date, it is appearing as a February 10, 1983, right? But how it is going to be in the back end? In the back end, it is going to be elapsed number of days only.
Days only. Yes, sir.
Only whatever the display that you are seeing, this is only temporary display. Understand? So, for example, if you wear a traditional clothes, you'll appear very traditional manner, isn't it? If you wear like a Western clothes, you will appear in a Western way. So whatever that makeup and dress that we wear, that is only temporary display. In the same way, whatever the format I'm applying here, this is only temporary display. Say, for example, take the salary value. How it is going to be in the back end? It is going to be in the back end only 50,000 without comma, without dollar symbol, without decimals. Since I applied the $10.2, it is displaying in this way. If I use only comma 6 dot, it will appear. It will have only comma. For the same date of birth, if I use date 9 dot, it will appear in date 9 format. If I write DDMMYY, it will appear in DDMMYY format. But in the back end, what we are going to have? We are going to have original data as elapsed number of days. So that means whatever the format that you are displaying here, this is only temporary output display. ఇక్కడ మీకు Roman letters కనిపిస్తాయి కానీ how we have this value in the back end? We have 23. And how this is going to get? This is as a 32 in the back end. So we are going to have original data in the PDV. Whatever you are seeing this one, this is only temporary output display. Understand this one? Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Anybody, any doubts? Very important phase. We are in very important phase. Each and everything is very important. Yes?
So this means all informats are permanent.
Format na instead of that.
Informats are permanent because we are reading the data into SAS, but formats are temporary. Okay.
Sir, can you also repeat the date?
Yes.
Sir, we can't use for sex if and then statement.
Pardon? Come again. I didn't get you.
If and then statement we can't use for sex.
We can use if and if we are using if then statement, that is a permanent change, but that is in hard coding. The advantage with this format is whenever you have the same that you can use again and again. You can use it repetitively. But if you are starting using if then condition, every time you should write if then condition.
Okay.
Once repeat any DT dates.
Any DT?
Format. In
If you want to have in format.
Yes, sir.
Can you see this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The format any DT dot was not found or could not be loaded because we cannot use any DT dot as a format.
Okay, sir. It's only for informat only.
Only for informat. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
what's the difference between in value and value, sir?
In value is a statement that we use to create for informat. Value is a statement that we use to create a user-defined format.
So that
Okay.
invalid statement is permanent or else that is also temporary one.
Any value is a permanent because we are reading the data into SAS. Okay. So say for example, here I have a data birth. So what is the informant I use? Date name that when I use the date name that how the data is reading into SAS now, elapsed number of days. Now the elapsed number of days is going to be permanent in within the SAS.
Okay, sir.
So can't we use where option here?
No, we cannot use where. You can use if, but
Okay.
if you are using is, that is called hard coding. We never recommend hard coding in real time. Okay.
Okay.
We'll discuss that one during the conditional statements because you don't know what is if and where right now. So we'll see that one later.
So proc
Now,
format is what, sir?
to create user-defined informats and proc format is a procedure that we use to create a user-defined informats and formats.
Okay.
It's just like in a tailoring shop. Whatever that designer wear you want to, you go there and you can have your designer wear. You can create our own, design. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm creating a data set called class 1, and I'm creating this from SAS.class. Okay. Now I'm writing the run statement. Now, if I select the program, execute the program, now we have a class 1 data set in the work library. Now, if we have a sex variable capital F, I want to display it as a woman. If we have a capital M, I want to display it as a gentleman. Understand what is my requirement? If we have a F, I want to have a woman. And if we have an M, I want to display it as a gentleman. Then how we can do that one? Now, we do
By
not have
creating
a
a
such
format, sir.
format. I'm going to create my own format. How to create our own format? By using a procedure called
Format.
proc format. Now, what is the statement I should write now? Value
Value
statement.
$gen.
I'm going to use this for sex variable, so I should write a dollar symbol. Okay. Now, since I'm creating my own format, I'm writing my own name. You can write any name. I'm writing the sex. Now, if the data contains a capital F, is equal to how we want to display that one? I want to display the name woman. If the data contains a capital M, you know how I want to display that one? I want to display the name, gentleman. Now I'm writing the run statement. So I created a user-defined format. I want to use this one. Now, what is the statement I should write now? Format statement.
Format.
For which variable? Sex variable. What is the format I created? $sex. Now see, before executing this program, first of all, I will show you class 1. Can you see how we have the sex values? F and M. Okay. Now, after applying the format, if I execute the program, can you see how we have the sex values now?
Woman and gentleman.
But in the backend, can you see what is the length of the sex variable?
1.
That means in the backend, how we have the values. In the backend, we are going to have only F and M only. This is only temporary display. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'll
Yes,
show you
sir.
one more thing. Can you see how we have the age values here? How we have the age values, can you see? We have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right?
Numeric.
Numerical, 11 to 16. Now, my requirement is, if the age is 11 or 12 or 13, I want to display it as a junior. If the age is 14, 15 or 16, I want to display it as a senior. Understand my requirement? So I want to say 11, 12, 13 as a junior, 14, 15, 16 as a senior. So we do not have a such format. So I should create my own format. Tell me how to create a format? By use a procedure called
Value.
now I'm creating a format value. Now I will create a format. I'm going to use this format for which variable?
Age.
Age.
Numerical.
Age.
Age is a numerical variable, so you no need to write a dollar
It
symbol.
is numerical.
Yes, sir.
So you no need to write a dollar symbol. So you should write a
Age.
format name. I want to have format name category CAT cat. You can write any name cat. Now, what is my requirement? If the age is 11 or a 12 or a 13, I want to have a junior. So 11 is equal to junior, 12 is equal to junior, 13 is equal to junior. So for how many values I have 11, 12, 13? When we have the same value for multiple values, you know what you can do? You no need to write all the three values. On the left side, you should write a starting value. Hyphen on the right side, you should write a value. 11 hyphen 13 is equal to, now within the quotation, how I want to have? I want to have it as a junior.
Junior.
So this junior will apply for 11 to 13. Now, in the same way, if age is from 14 hyphen 16, you know how I want to display? I want to display it as a senior. Now, semicolon. Now, write the run statement. Okay. Now, I'm selecting this program, executing the program. Now, we are going to have a user-defined format. I want to apply that. Okay. Now, see what I'm going to do. I will apply the format now in the same program now. This time, I want to apply this format for which variable? Age variable. What is the format we created? Can you tell me?
Cat dot.
Cat.
Cat.
Very good. Now select the program, execute the program. We are going to have a class 1 data set. Now, can you see how the age values are displaying now?
Junior and senior.
Junior and senior. But if I open age variable in the backend, can you see how we have the data?
Numerical.
Numerical. So that means in the backend, we are going to have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 only. Whatever the junior and senior you are seeing, this is only temporary display.
Temporary data.
Okay. Temporary display.
Sir, if I need 12 also in senior.
You should write.
You can write that.
Is it clear, everybody? Still you have a confusion? We'll see a few more examples in tomorrow's class so that you'll get an idea. Okay?
So if
Clear,
we
Andy?
want 11, 12 at junior. Hello?
I'll tell you. Yeah.
And
Yeah, am I audible?
if we want 11 junior and 14, 15 as junior, like it shouldn't be continuous.
See, yeah, I got it. So you can write it. If you have any such kind of values, you can write all the values. Say, for example, I'm writing a, say, for example, value. I'm writing in a format called age group. If age is from 11 to 12, I want to have it as, say, for example, young. Okay. I want to have it as an young. If the age is, say, for example, from 13 to 14, I want to have, say, for example, middle. If age is, say, for example, from 15 to 16, I want to have it as an adult. Whatever that you want to have, you can write it. Understand this one? Now, if I
And
apply
if
this,
suppose And if suppose 11 to 15 I want young and 16 as adult, and again like it shouldn't be continuous, like in
So
between it
if
should be
you
young, middle, adult.
then you cannot write a range of values like this one. Say for example, so if you want to have randomly, okay,
Yeah.
you should write all that values then. Okay, if you have different, if you want to have in different way, each and everything you need to mention.
Okay.
Sir, we need
Sir,
to
can we write
mention
in option?
random values separate.
No, we cannot write in option here.
Sir, if
Okay.
we need to write random values, we have to write separated by comma, sir.
No, you should write each one individually, separately.
If we need 11, 15,
If it is not in a
18,
range, if it is not in a range, yeah, if it is not in a range, you have to write everything separately. So for example,
11
I want to have for 11, 13, 15 end. Okay, you should 11 is equal to end, you should write 13 is equal to end, 15 is equal to end, you should write separately. Because these are not a range of values, no?
we need to write
Write everything.
individually for random values. We shouldn't write
Yes.
by separated by comma.
Yes. Okay, that. Okay, then we'll continue in tomorrow's class.
Sir,
Yes.
will you post that in WhatsApp, sir?
Discord.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay then.